All right, so we're going to talk about prepping for a new year and setting your business up for success so that you'll be prepared. Some of you may be in a place right now where you're just like, like that's me right now. So I'm sure most of us feel that way right now. The holidays are exhausting for one. We are in busy season right now. It has been a crazy holiday season. We work harder this year than any other time of the year. And when we get to this point, we're just like, I need a minute. So it's very important to go ahead and get January prepared. And then you can have some rest time and just chill, because we all need that rest, that unplugging, whatever it is that you need after the holiday season, when you're just like, I'm done. You need that to recharge for the beginning of the new year. So we're going to talk about all the things you need to do to get prepared. I'm going to tell you what I do, and hopefully you can walk away with some motivation, some inspiration, some whatever it is that you need, direction mostly, because it's just a crazy time of year. So, all right. So the first thing I personally do when I'm preparing for a new year is I purge and clean my space. I need a clean slate to start for the new year. So as you can see right now, my office is just a big old hot mess. That's how it gets this time of year. I'm doing holiday bundles. I'm wrapping gifts for customers. I'm bagging more orders than usual. Like, things just get crazy. We're in the process of moving also. So everything is just a wreck right now. And when I am done, like after the shipping cutoff, so what is it, the 15th? So first of all, I have a deadline for my customers, for my locals, and like for my gift bundles. That is way earlier than the holiday shipping cutoff. So whatever tomorrow is, so the 10th, so the 10th, that's going to be my personal cutoff for my customers. So I'm going to communicate that with everyone and make sure that they know, like, if you don't get your gift bundles in by tomorrow, because I do have an order going in tomorrow that's 500. So that's going to be their last chance if they're a local, or if they're not a local, because I do these gift bundles for non-locals. But if they want any bundles, that is going to be their last chance, because I'm not trying to scramble and stress myself out around Christmas time trying to deliver orders the day before Christmas Eve, or trying to get orders like gift bundles shipped out to people and worrying about it getting there for Christmas. So that's very important. Before we even talk about preparing for the new year, that's very important to keep in mind. Like, you don't want to be working your business up until the last minute right before Christmas, because it can cause even more stress, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure your customers have their gifts in plenty of time. So purging and cleaning your space. So after you're done with all the holiday madness, I highly recommend purging everything you can. For one, it's about to be a transition month, which is crazy to think about. January is going to be transition month. So we're going to be ordering our new testers, our new catalogs, all that new stuff, and getting rid of the old for the new catalog that will be coming out in February. So it's important to get everything cleaned up, prepared, have a clean slate ready to go for the new year. If I have a clean slate and a clean home and a clean office, I have a clean slate here, because like, if everything is just crazy cluttered, my mind is crazy cluttered. I can't work in chaos. Like, I struggle even working with all this. So clean slate, purge, get rid of everything you're not using including systems, like whatever it is that is just cluttering up your space and cluttering up your mind that is not working for you anymore, that you're not using anymore. You can give all of your random Scentsy crap to a team member, like stuff that you don't need anymore that they may need. Last season, I think it was, I do a purge before every catalog season, at least twice a year, but it's usually more than that. But I think it was last catalog change, I got rid of so much stuff. It may have been January of this year. This year flew by so fast. I swear it was only 6 months long. But I just simplified so much. I had so much crap that I was not using. And it was just cluttering up space. It was taking up space that didn't need to be taken up. I knew another team member could use it. So I had this huge bag of stuff that I got rid of, gave it to a team member, and it was like I lost weight. It felt so good getting rid of all that stuff that I wasn't using anymore. So simplify, because the more complicated your business gets, the more stressed you're going to get, and it's going to build over time, and it's going to continue. It's going to be more and more work. It's going to be more and more stress. It's going to be more and more things to deal with and try to make time for. And it's just, it gets to be overwhelming. So simplify, clean your space, organize your space. That's very important too. When you're cleaning out everything, you need to get reorganized, or organized if you're not organized. Like if you're not organized, you can't work efficiently. You can't work quickly. You can't grab things and go quickly. You're wasting a lot of time if you're not organized. And all of these things take time. It takes time to get systems in place. It takes time to organize, but that time is absolutely necessary for you to be able to save time in the future. So, after I've cleaned and purged my space, I go to goals and my vision board. So whether you have a vision board in person like I do, I love my vision board. It hangs right above my desk. It has all of our goals on it, like pictures of our goals. It has my favorite, like inspirational quotes. It has awards that I earn. It had like my little lifetime PRV awards, monthly sales, shooting star trainer. I stick those up there. It has like little special notes from team member. It has my dream paycheck on it, which I think is very important to put on your dream board. So whether you have it in person or you have it like on the background of your desktop or the background of your phone or a Pinterest board, like whatever it is, have some kind of vision board that you can look at on a daily basis that keeps you inspired when you are in a time where you're just like, I'm exhausted. So that's what's going to keep you going. But I revamp my vision board every catalog season at least. But with a new year coming up, it's very, very important to have that clean slate and that new motivation and those bigger dreams. You need to be dreaming bigger every single year. Every year, you need to add more dreams. You need to add bigger dreams to that dream board. You need to add bigger goals to your goal list. I'm going to have to turn my phone off because it's dinging. So yeah, revamp your goals, revamp your dreams, dream bigger. So every year, like last year, I'm trying to think, like I said, this year seems like it was like 6 months long. Last year, I think my biggest dream for this year was to buy my husband a truck, and then I bought it. And it seems like we just bought that like 3 months ago. And I guess it's been like a year. That is crazy. So what I do, and I have a board too that I write these on, but it's not out right now. But here, this is what I do. I have it in the front of my planner. So in the front of my planner, and then I also write it down like and put it on my desk or somewhere where I'm going to see it, like in front of me, just like my dream board. But I have my personal goals, which include, you know, like this year was buy a truck for Derek, which I bought. My workout goals, like fitness goals, health goals, that kind of thing. And then I have my word for the year. So this is the time that you need to start thinking of your word for the year that you're going to live by all year long in all aspects of your business. And it can also go with your life. So my word for 2021 was connect. And underneath that, I put grow closer to God, Derek, Carson, my team, my leaders, my customers. Like I just wanted to connect more in all aspects of my life, be more connected with people, be more connected to God, all these things. And then I have my business goals. So annual sales award, of course, annual mentor award. Every single leader should be striving for both of those. The amount of people I wanted to have in my group by the end of the year. Just other business goals I had, like the amount of new directors I wanted to promote, training goals, like how I wanted to do my like monthly trainings for y'all, and just those kind of things. Maybe it's to do better with tracking your taxes, or whatever. So all of your goals, just put them all in one place so that you can look at those and check them off as you get them checked off. And of course, the incentive trips, that's one that you want to put on there. So things like that. So that's going to give you the reset, the refresh that you need. Like I said, dream bigger every year. This year, my dream is going to be to buy I want to custom order a Range Rover Sport. That's what I've wanted for years. And so that's going to be like my big goal for this year or next year, 2022. So next thing you need to do, new systems or update your systems. You need to sit down, and this is going to take some time. You need to sit down and think about what systems you had that did not work for you, or what systems you were lacking, like what areas of your business are stressing you out because you don't have a system in place for that. So first of all, you need a planner, a calendar. So I have a big dry erase wall calendar, which I love because it's like our master family calendar. It has everything on it, from my business to appointments to things that Derek has going on. Like it has everything up there so that we can both look at that, have a visual of what our month looks like. I have it color coded. So like appointments are in one color, trainings are in another color, hunting trips are in another color, Christmas get-togethers. Note, like if Carson doesn't have school one day, I write no school on there really big in another color. I have coaching calls in another color. So everything is very organized. I can look at that, have a visual, and know like, okay, here's what I have going on this day, this day, this day. Same way in my planner, I color code everything. I just ordered my new planner for 2022 about a month ago. So I stay on top of things with that. I stay ahead of the game because I want to go ahead and be planning my January. So that is how you should work in your business. You should always be working about 30 days ahead of time in your business so that you're prepared. And that way you're never stressed out that you're behind or this or that. Like you're always on top of it if you're working in advance. Just like when you need to front load your calendar, you need to have parties booked by the middle of this month. You need to have January booked. You need to know who you're going to be recruiting in January. Like all these things, you need to be prepared in advance. But this is the planner I use. It's the Happy Planner. I use the classic size because I don't want a big notebook size. I want to be able to take it, if I'm in the car or whatever, wherever I need to take it, and it's not abnormally huge. So I love the Happy Planner. I do the the vertical layout. So it looks like this, so that I can write like a list of things for each day. And then I have my daily inserts, my daily hourly inserts that I put on there so that I can block out every 30 minutes to an hour of time for what task I have to do that day. And that way I'm not overloading myself with too many tasks. So I used to would write a list. I used to would write a list, and I would write too many things, and I wouldn't give myself enough time in the day to do all those things. So then I would be stressed out because I couldn't get my list done, because I'm a very task oriented person. Like I need to check things off to feel productive. That is how I thrive. So I had to go to an every 30 minutes layout so that I could make sure I was allowing myself the time to do everything on my list. And that has helped me tremendously. So you have to buy those separately, but they're just called hourly inserts, I think, for the Happy Planner. So I put one of those in there every single day. I plan out my day. I love the Happy Planner because it has so here's the full month layout. It has like a little notes section on the side. So I will put like things I need to get done that month right there, whether it's personal, business, whatever. I put everything all in this one planner. At the beginning of the month, it has a blank page. So I have a list of potential recruits, potential hosts, who I want to coach that month, and potential Scentsy Clubbers. And then you have your priorities and goals down here. So you can write your goals. And then important dates, I write things like what is going on next month. So bring back my bar, 10% off with a question mark, because I don't know yet if they're doing the 10% off. Transition month, like things I just need to remember for what's going on next month. So love that. Also on each weekly layout, you have a little this week's priority section, and then you have another section right here that you can write whatever you want to. So you could write your weekly goals here, which is what I like to do, or just random little weekly to-dos that need to get done. And then I'll move those onto the days as I see that I can get them done. So planner is an absolute must. Like, don't try to work your business without a planner. I'm telling you, you're going to get stressed out. So get a planner, a calendar. That's the first system you need in place. Your PRV and your customer systems. So whatever you're tracking, your thank you mail, whatever you're using for follow-up, like whatever kind of trackers and systems you need in place for PRV, sales, networking, parties, all those things. So like I said, this takes a little while to sit down and evaluate what you're lacking, what you need to change. Maybe you're using paper systems and you can't keep up with them anymore. That was me. A couple years ago, that was me. And I realized like I cannot do this anymore. I love paper and pen. I love to write things down, but I was sitting there like, why can I not keep up with this? This is a system. Why is it not working for me? It's stressing me out. Like, why? It's a system, so why is it not working? It's because I outgrew it. So you're gonna outgrow paper. And that's why you need to be willing to grow and evolve in your business, because you've got to look at it and say, is this working for me? Or is this working for me anymore? Or what do I not have in place that needs to be in place? So I have a whole folder of systems in our group Google Drive. So if you just go to systems for your business, every single system that's in there, you can print it out if you want it to be on paper. You can make a copy of it and make it your own in a Google Drive, whatever you want to do. If you want to use it digitally, all of my systems now are digital. But you can use any of those on paper, just print them out, use them like that. Your recruiting systems, what kind of list are you using to keep up with who you've talked to about joining and who's interested, who you have talked to about the host exclusive kit? Like, you have to have systems in place for these things. If you want to be a great recruiter, you've got to write down who you've talked to about joining, what you've talked to them about. Have you shared your story with them? Have you shared the host exclusive kit option with them? Every single person you talk to about joining who is interested, you should be offering them the opportunity to earn their starter kit. And then you need to be offering a starter kit to them every single time you close a party. That is why you need that list of people. You need to be following up with them at least once a month. That's what I've always done. My rule of thumb in my business has always been 8 parties a month, 2 new recruits a month, 30 join conversations a month. That is what I built my business on. It works. It will get you to a 6-figure salary if you're consistent with it. So 2,000 PRV a month, 8 parties a month, 2 new recruits a month, 30 join conversations a month. I'm telling you, if you follow that, you're going to build your business big. Scentsy Club systems. How are you tracking your Scentsy Club subscribers? How are you tracking what mail you're sending them? That kind of thing. All that stuff is in there. Team systems. How are you keeping up with who's paid at title if you're sending a gift for that? How are you keeping up with, like your team mail, your promotions, who's earning the incentive? Like, how are you keeping up with all these things? Because you run a business, you're a leader. So the bigger your business gets, think about it. I have over 1,700 people in my group. So if I didn't start these systems early on, I would have been stressed out big time. And I didn't have all these systems early on. Like I needed systems in place and I didn't have hardly any of these. And I was wondering, like, why am I burning out all the time? Why am I so stressed out? Why do I feel like I can't keep up with anything? It's because I didn't have any of these systems. So, and then your personal business systems. This is so important for leaders. I feel like so many people miss this. Personal business systems like budgeting systems, inventory, how you're tracking your taxes. If you don't have QuickBooks Self-Employed, you need it. You can use it as an app. You can use it on a desktop. It tracks every single income and expense that goes into your account that you're using for your business. And it tracks your mileage. So then at the end of the year, when it's tax time, go in there, print out a summary. That's it. That's all you need. That and your 1099, give it to your tax person. Bam, done. They do the rest. Then, of course, a system for keeping up with your receipts. I've just used file folders that are labeled. That's all I do. Because you need those in case you're audited. So you have to have systems in place for tracking these things. Whitney said she can't stand that app. So whatever it is that works for you, you have to track these things, but I don't care what it is, just whatever works for you. You have to find the things that work for you, because if you have a system in place, but you don't use it, it's not a system, it's pointless. So then you've got to sit down and evaluate, okay, why do I hate this app? What can I do differently to be able to track easily? So it's important. That's why everybody's so different. So the next thing is to I already talked about that, front loading and planning January before Christmas. Start thinking ahead. If you're not thinking ahead 30 days in your business, start that habit now. So when you are front loading and planning out your January, you want to start with your personal business first. Your personal business is always first. This is so important to remember as a leader, because when you're a leader, you love your team. You're always so focused on your team. And sometimes you can lose focus on your customers, and your customers are the foundation of your business. They are the most important part of your business at the end of the day. They are the foundation. If you didn't have customers, you wouldn't have a team. So your customers have to come first. Thank you for that, Michelle. And I have systems too with those. When you look at that Google Drive folder, I have systems for like budgeting and stuff like that too. If you need to use any of that, I have an inventory list in there that you can take and make your own. So there's tools everywhere. You just have to find what works for you. But start with your personal business. So you need to order Bring Back My Bar, because that comes out next month. You need to do that. So write that down. Think about what promos we will have. Like I said, 10% off, possibly. Sometimes they'll do a host exclusive. I don't know. I mean, we don't know these things yet, but we'll know soon enough. Think about who you can recruit next month, who you can offer a host exclusive kit to, which that's going to be ways that you're going to book your parties. Who can you talk to about joining? Who can you talk to about clubbing? Who can you talk to about hosting? So like I said, have like a master sheet of some sort that has like everybody written down that you're going to talk to in each of these categories. And then go to your team. What team members do you want to coach in January? Who are you going to reach out to coach? How are you identifying your leaders? You're running a report. You're looking at who's producing. You're looking at who's recruiting, and you're looking at who is showing leadership capabilities. Whether it's on your team page, they're very supportive. They're helping other people out. They're sharing their ideas. All these are leadership qualities. I have a whole training on that. So who do you want to coach in January? Think ahead on these things. Front load and I put that on there twice. After you're done with all these things, you're going to allow yourself to rest. So prep your business for January. Once the 15th hits, that's the shipping cutoff. It's going to be pretty chill from there till the end of December. So the first 2 weeks of December, I mean, it's already the 9th. The first 2 weeks of December are the craziest because everybody's trying to get their gifts ordered. You're trying to get gift bundles to everybody. You're trying to get everybody's orders wrapped and packaged and delivered and all the things. You're playing Santa, and it's just craziness. But after the 15th, it's going to get a little less crazy. So that is the time that you want to start focusing on doing all these things, purging your office, resetting your goals, resetting your dream board, just resetting in general, resetting your business, resetting your mind, everything. You need to even think about like what changes do I need to make in my personal life? What changes do I need to make for my mental health or my daily routine? Or, maybe you're not setting yourself up for success first thing in the morning. Maybe you don't have a good morning routine in place. Maybe you're not starting your day with the thing that makes you happiest. Think about those things. So yes, Heather, she said she's slammed right now, but she plans to relax the last 2 weeks. Yeah, she sets it up like this on purpose. That is a business owner. You prepare, you plan, and you do things intentionally. So go those first 2 weeks so that you can relax those last 2 weeks or that last week, whatever it is. For me, it's basically that last week. Then we're going to be moving next month. So it's just going to be a crazy time. So it's even more important for me to plan in advance because we are going to be moving next month, and that's a whole month's process in itself. So yeah, allow yourself time to rest before the new year. Make sure that you have that rest. It's so important, especially as a leader, to have that rest. If you need to work on your boundaries, this is the time to evaluate that as well. Do you have boundaries? Or do you have boundaries and you're not honoring those boundaries? If you're not honoring your own boundaries, nobody else is going to respect your own boundaries. So take them seriously, do what you say you're going to do, follow through, and that's going to teach others to respect your boundaries. And this is, all these things are going to add up to you having the right mindset going into 2022. If you are burnt out and tired and exhausted and just worked to death going into 2022, it's not going to set your year up for success. You've got to be prepared and rested. So, does anybody have any questions or things you want to add? You're welcome to unmute. If you want to, use the chat box, whatever you want to do. Crystal said she's planning on revamping everything in her business. She has very little systems in place and she's going insane. Should have listened to Morgan months ago. I did set up a few systems, but not everything. Well, this is the time now. You're going to have a much better 2022 and a much less stressful 2022 when you get the right systems going. And I'll be honest, like, I have a lot of systems in that Google Drive and I probably use half of them. Like, don't feel like you have to use all of those because you can't. There's a lot and not everybody needs all of them. Not everybody can physically possibly use all of them, but you've got to use the ones that are most important. So the ones I use, like I have them always pulled up in a tab, like they're all at the top of my window that stays pulled up on my computer. But I use my paid at title tracker and my incentive earner tracker. I use those once a week. And that allows me to track, because I do shout outs, we all do shout outs for who's been paid at title and all those things. And as your team grows, you're not going to be able to run reports as often because there's so many people. So I run like a big report once a week. I'll run like little reports here and there and check little things here and there, more than that. But once a week, I'm running like who's paid at title. I'll do my sales shout outs, my recruiting shout outs. I do those on Wednesdays. And then I'll use my incentive earner tracker because directors and above, we have access to see who in our team, in our group, has earned the incentive, not just our frontline. So if you are a leader and you don't know this, you actually can see everybody in your frontline's points. You can't see your whole team, but you can see everybody in your frontline's incentive points. If you go to your incentive tab in your workstation, there's a place where you can look and see who all in your frontline has earned or how many points they have. So you can see if they're on track. That way you can reach out to them and say, hey, you're this close to level, whatever. I also use so at the beginning of not the beginning of every month, at the beginning of, so on payday, around payday, like today, I'll be doing like inventory, I'll be budgeting for the month, and then tomorrow I'll be ordering my business supplies for the whole month. So I use on this time of the month, I use my business supplies checklist and my budgeting tracker. And then things that I use all month long is my like my party trackers, my dream team list, my orders to enter. What else is up here? my referrals, I keep that pulled up. And then I have my master schedule that I keep pulled up so that I can pull from that each week when I'm planning my week. So those are the things I use. Now I have systems for like mail outs and Cincy Club mail outs and stuff like that, but it's just, I do that differently. But yeah, you need to be tracking all these things. It's samples, if you're sending out samples, if you want to track that. Personally, I cannot track all the samples I send out. It's not possible. I've tried it. I can't do it. Like, I just can't do it. But I do follow up with my customers, and, you know, ask them how they like their products, how they like their samples that came in their happy mail, whatever it is. But there is absolutely no way that I can track every single sample that I sent somebody, because it's just not possible. The way I send out my samples and my happy mail and my nope. Chelsea, I have so much stuff planned out for 2022 that I want to do with my business. I want to grow so much next year. Yes, yes, yes. And you know how you're going to grow? You're going to do one-on-ones. If you're not doing one-on-ones, we did a whole training on this last month, me and Crystal. If you're not doing one-on-ones, your business is not going to grow like you want it to grow. It's not going to grow rapidly. It's going to grow a lot slower when you're not working one-on-one with people. I'm proof of that. I mean, my business grew pretty quick. Like, I promoted to SSD in 3 years, but I didn't even start coaching until 2 years into being a superstar director. And that is when I started seeing like exponential growth, like major growth, was when I started doing those one-on-ones. So that's another thing. When you're evaluating your team systems, what systems do you have in place for coaching? What form are you using to keep everything structured? How are you keeping up with who you're coaching? Like, all these things are so important, so important. For coaching calls, I have a the post at the top of I think it's in the leadership group and the director group. There's a whole post that has every single resource you need for one-on-ones. It has trainings on one-on-ones. It has example one-on-ones. It has systems I use for my one-on-ones, like all that stuff. So that is what you need to start with, Whitney. And then like my identifying and developing leaders training from SFR, I have that on my YouTube as well. So that's another good resource for that, for you know, like how you identify who you're going to coach, and then some of the things you can talk to them about, and all that. One-on-ones are intimidating. They're scary. They're like, for me, I've been doing them for years and I still feel inadequate. Like, I still feel like I'm not doing enough when I'm coaching someone. So if you feel like that, just know it's normal. But you're giving value to them, and you'll see when you start doing them, you'll see that growth start to happen, and you'll see those, you know, you'll see your promotion start to increase, as long as you're recruiting like you should, as long as you're recruiting 2 a month at least, and you're coaching, you're going to see that growth. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to have all the answers. If you don't have the answers, tell them you don't know, and you'll ask your upline. The thing about coaching, you're going to ask them more questions than they're going to ask you, really. So, you know, once you get into learning how to do it, like once you watch some of my trainings and see, like, it's sometimes you'll be doing more talking than others. Like, if it's a newer team member, they may be asking more questions. But if you're coaching a leader, a lot of times you're asking them most of the questions, because you're really trying to figure out why this individual is struggling where they're struggling. What are they doing or not doing? Why is it that they have this feeling that's causing this thing? Like, it's a lot of like digging really deep to figure out what's going on, why they're struggling in that area. And it just takes a lot of practice, like a lot of practice to get really comfortable with it and feel like you know what you're doing. But you have to start. We all know as leaders, if we're not willing to get out of our comfort zones, we can't tell our teams to get out of their comfort zone. We can't tell our team to go, you know, give out samples in public if that scares them, if we're not doing the things that scare us. The things that scare us as leaders are different than the things that scare them. The things that scare us is coaching people, training people, being a presenter at SFR, like all these things like that. Those are our comfort zones. And those are the things that we need to be stepping into doing so that we can lead by example for our teams. I'm telling you, if you're not doing one-on-ones, you are seriously, you're missing out. I mean, you could have so much more growth in your business if you started the one-on-ones. I don't care if you're a lead consultant or a star director. Start now. If you have one team member and they are killing it and you see potential in them, you need to be spending time with them and coaching them and working with them one-on-one. I love that, Michelle. The same word you had for this year is going to be your word for 2022, service. I had a huge revelation the other day about why I don't host and join conversations that I should. So I'm really going to be honing in on serving others with a touch of focus on how hosting and joining serves. That's so good. I might steal that actually. I love the word serve, service. Like that's what I really try to implement in my business and like the mindset I try to have. So I really love that. I think my word may be serve because I haven't even thought about my word yet. And that just like, that kind of hit me when you said that. I think that's a really, really good word. I'm going to write that down. All right, y'all. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I will let y'all go. If you're on my team, we have a team call tomorrow at 1. I think I've changed it so many times. I don't even see. This is why I need a planner. Yes, at 1 tomorrow, Central Time, if you're on my team page. But I'm going to go upload this to YouTube, and that way you can share it with whoever you want to. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I love y'all. Thank you for being on.